everybody! Thank you so much for stopping back to my channel. If you're new here, hi, how are you? Welcome to the family. My name is Rose and I'm a girl boss on a budget who loves to save money and project pan. In today's video, I wanted to sit down and I've been focusing on my inventory, upon starting my YouTube channel and everything, and slowly but surely I have been working on my inventory. And one of the first categories of my makeup collection that I did start inventory wise was, of course, my eyeshadow palettes. I have large numbers in every category when it comes to makeup. I mean, at least I feel. I know there are some people who have way bigger and there are people who have smaller, but to me, the numbers that I have for my inventory are big for me. You know what I mean? This video is basically going to be a part 1 to either a 2 or 3-part series of my eyeshadow palette collection, because I have such a large number. And I could probably do it all in one video, but I don't want to have an excessively long video here on YouTube and torture you guys like that. I mean, I'm sure you guys probably would enjoy it. Who doesn't love eyeshadow, anything eyeshadow? But I think I'm just going to break it down into 2 or 3 videos for you guys, and I'll just make it a part 1, 2, and 3, or a part 1 and 2, or however many segments it will take. So yeah, I mean, that's basically what this video is going to be about, and it's going to be me showing you guys my entire eyeshadow palette collection. I'm going to start, like I said, and breaking down each category of my makeup. I'm doing my inventory. I'm still working on my inventory, not done with it yet, you guys. But by doing my inventory so I can get more realistic numbers down in the future, this is very helpful to me, and why I am doing this and getting numbers for everything I own, because I want to then be able to actually see in numbers how big my makeup collection has gotten in the past 2.5 years, or however long it's been since I really started diving deep into makeup. I just taking that picture that I had to take for my beauty group, I want to say 2 months ago, and seeing all of my eyeshadow palettes laid out on this king size bed behind me, and seeing that was one of my biggest reasons why I, for one, started a low buy and I'm working to a no buy, and for 2, discovered all of you wonderful, the panning community. So enough with the rambling. Without further ado, let's just go ahead and I will show you guys my entire eyeshadow palette collection, part 1. Okay, you guys, do you like my little setup I tried to make? I mean, it is what it is, considering, I don't have all the professional grade stuff yet, and I figured this would be the best setting that I could do anyways, to show you guys all of my palettes. Let's just get started. So first palette that I want to show you guys is my Sigma Enchanted palette. She is absolutely beautiful. I purchased this right before I started my low buy, right when it came out, about 2 months ago, and it is absolutely gorgeous, and I really enjoy her so far. So hopefully you guys will be able to stay in focus. I don't have a way to make sure you guys are in focus. So next is my Dominate Cosmetics, the newest one that just came out, which is the Celestial Storm palette. Absolutely beautiful. I did a chit chat get ready with me with this palette. I will link it in the cards above. And it is just a great palette. Dominique Cosmetics has quickly became definitely one of my top 3 brands for sure. Next is the Dominique Cosmetics Rustic Glam palette. This came out in the summertime. Really another gorgeous palette. Her mattes and stuff are just, you know, unlike any other really. They're very velvety smooth, very pigmented, very easy to blend, and I really enjoy her formula. So there is the Rustic Glam. Next is the Berries and Cream palette from Dominique Cosmetics, which came out last holiday season. Beautiful berry tone palette. It is just another really gorgeous palette. Berries and Cream, very nice. And then of course her original, which was the Latte palette, was the first one she came out with. And there she is. This is your typical day-to-day neutral palette with a couple pops of color, which the pops of color are absolutely gorgeous in there. And the shimmers, just everything. The quality of her palettes is really good. Next is my Natasha Denona Sunrise palette. This is the only palette that I purchased from her because it was a little more affordable compared to her $130 palettes. I just can't justify the price of getting one for that price. So when this came out, this was more ideal for me and my budget, so I definitely took advantage of her. But you know, so far her formula is actually really nice, but is it worth the price that she, you know, puts on her palettes? I don't think so. But it is overall a really nice palette. That is the Natasha Denona Sunrise. Next is a cult favorite, which is the Friendcation Desi X Katie by Dose of Colors. A really beautiful palette. It has these glitter shades in there that I highly recommend you use a finger to apply because they don't pick up with a brush really well. But they are absolutely beautiful, and Dose of Colors matte formula is really good. Really good formula. If I wasn't on a low buy, working my way to a no buy next year, I would definitely invest in their 5-pan Marvelous Mobs and the cool tones, and they got the Sienna's ones because their mattes are really good. But I'm not going to be buying any more palettes for quite some time, if ever. Next is Violet Voss, the Best Life palette. This is a really fun palette. As you can see, it folds out and you have your row of, you know, your typical metallics and your mattes, and then up above you have the pressed glitters, which are absolutely beautiful. This is an absolutely beautiful palette. I really enjoy playing with her, especially in the summer. Lots of fun, beautiful looks with her. And that is Always Live Your Best Life from Violet Voss. Next is I will go and show you guys all of my ABH palettes that I own, starting with, of course, the Jackie Anna collab with Anastasia Beverly Hills, which this palette is super gorgeous and just perfect for fall right now. I have really been enjoying playing with her. I have posted quite a few looks with her on my Instagram and over in my beauty group on Facebook. But yes, this is just an overall really good formula, and you know, it's the typical ABH formula that we all know and love. But just the color story and the theming on this is absolutely beautiful, and I have really enjoyed playing with her. Next is the ABH Riviera palette. Came out over the summer. Very bright, vibrant, fun, bold colors, and just a really good palette. You know, I love to do really bright, beautiful looks, so I have definitely enjoyed playing with her in the summer. And it is just an all-around really good palette. Their formula is really good. I have not purchased any of her $60 palettes though, and I will not be doing so. Not interested. Next one is the Norvina palette, which we all know and love. It is dirty because she's loved, and I'm not, you know, going to be going through and trying to wipe it all down. I mean, I guess it's not too bad. Could be worse. I've seen worse. I do try to take care of them as I'm using them, but she's been a little bit neglected lately and has just been sitting in my collection, my enormous collection of palettes that I own. So, you know, by starting this collab with the Fantastic Ladies of Throwing Shade, I'm hoping that I will be able to get and rotate my collection again, which that is the goal. Next is another staple from ABH, which is the Soft Glam palette we all know and love. Very beautiful neutral palette just for your day-to-day looks, and you can definitely spice it up with some of the metallics in here. You can just do a more toned down version. Got really nice shimmers and these really nice pops of metallic over here. Super gorgeous palette for your day-to-day looks. And then lastly from ABH is my Sultry palette, which came out last holiday season. There is a lot of mixed reviews on this, and I have only played with her a couple times, but it is an overall really gorgeous palette, and the few times that I have done some looks with it, I have really enjoyed it. I think it's a great palette, and I do like the pop of pink in there. You know, I have definitely incorporated it into some of my looks. I like how it's contrasting with the other shades, you know, to make it a little bit different and unique. Instead of just being an all neutral look, you can kind of throw that in. But, you know, the metallics and the shimmers in here are absolutely divine though, you guys. Impeccable. So I have definitely enjoyed using her. Next, I'm going to show you guys my Juvia's Place palette collection. Now, granted, the palettes, all my palettes that I'm going to show you guys are not all going to be in order like this. But yes, first ones first is the Masquerade palette from Juvia's Place that we all know and love. And, you know, it's the big one. You know, obviously these shades and these pan sizes are, I can use this palette basically for the rest of my life probably and not ever, you know, finish it up. That's for sure. But it is a super gorgeous palette. Juvia's Place's formula is out of this world. You know, the pigmentation and their mattes and her shimmers are just incredible, you guys. I mean, sickening, really. So let me just show you by example in case you have not ever seen Juvia's Place. Bam! Look at that, you guys. So freaking gorgeous. Oh my God, I just can't. Oh yes, and they are very affordable, very good deal. I highly recommend Juvia's Place for sure. And next is the Nubian 3 Coral palette that I purchased over the summertime. Really fun palette. I have only used her a couple of times, but it has your really beautiful orange tones and some silvers and grays in there. But it is a really interesting color story, and the few looks that I have done with her so far have been absolutely beautiful. You know, I really do enjoy Juvia's Place, and this is the Nubian 3 Coral palette. Juvia's Place Saharan 2 palette. I really enjoy the shimmers in this palette, you know, and it's got 3 mattes on the bottom and the rest are your shimmers, but I really enjoy these shimmers in this palette. They are just incredible, you guys. Let me see, I'll show you a swatch. Just very beautiful sea foam green, and oh God, you guys, they're just super pretty. Nomad is really gorgeous. You know what, now that I pulled this out, I would like to play with her in for the fall right now, because it's got these really nice fall tone colors. So actually, I'm going to set this over here. Bought this right before I started my NoBuy. She came out right before I started my NoBuy, and it is the Warrior 3 palette, and it is just beautiful. It reminds me a lot of the Zulu palette, and that teal down there and that gray are incredible, you guys. Look at that. Look at how stunning. And of course, I'm probably going to be covered in swatches by the end of the video, but it is all worth it because I want you guys to see how gorgeous some of these palettes are. And she is absolutely beautiful. I have done a couple looks with her, but you know, it just goes to show when you have an enormous makeup collection and over 100 eyeshadow palettes like I do, a lot of the beautiful your palettes and stuff just tend to get forgotten about and lost in the shuffle, and it makes me really sad. So I'm thinking about doing a declutter video. I don't know if I'm ready for all that yet, especially knowing, you know, I've worked very hard for my money and I've bought every single one of my palettes with my own money, and you know, it's just hard to let go. Next is the Dupe by Juvia's Place. Really pretty, like pink incorporated, with your really beautiful green shadow in there. This stunning silver, this like pinky iridescent, like, oh gosh, I can't even describe it. Really pretty though. It's like holographic almost like glow in the dark. I mean, look at those swatches from Juvia's Place, you guys. So freaking gorgeous. Next is the Zulu palette from Juvia's Place. This is your bright, you know, rainbow palette. And, you know, mixing this with the Warrior 3 palette, actually, you can really create some pretty bright, bold looks. Very beautiful, very known and well-loved palette there. Warrior palette, the first Warrior, which is your beautiful neutrals and golds and deep, dark, rich browns. Just a great palette overall, you know, for your neutral looks. I always achieve amazing looks with Juvia's Place palettes. And this is the Warrior, the first one. Magic Mini palette by Juvia's Place. And she is really beautiful as well. I like the dark, deep blues and stuff down here and your greens. That gold is like this mustardy gold. I can't even describe it. Look at it on my finger. All right, where am I going to swatch it at? Bam! I was off camera. Like I said, I'm trying to make sure I don't lose you guys because I don't have a way to see that, you know, I'm staying in focus. So I'm hoping for the best while filming this, y'all. But yes, this is the Magic Mini palette. And my last one that I owned from Juvia's Place, which was damn near all of them. But that is the Nubian 2 palette. And she is really pretty as well. Of course, I enjoy all of Juvia's Place's palettes. The only ones I didn't really get was the green one, the festival one, and they have like an all matte one I didn't get, but just a really gorgeous palette. And next is my Jaclyn Hill, the Vault set. Bought this when it came out last summer. Really pretty palettes, you know, Bling Boss, Ring Me Alarm, Armed and Gorgeous, and Dark Magic. Still for those who want to see. And I actually have gotten a lot of use out of these palettes, especially when I first bought them. You know, this is last summer when I first bought these. I want to say I probably had maybe 20 palettes. And now here we are, a year and a half later, and I have quickly risen up to, you know, over 100 palettes now. Ring the Alarm one, really pretty. Sometimes I keep the insert, sometimes I don't. It just depends, but this is a really beautiful palette as well. Your reds and oranges and your browns, and just a gorgeous palette too. Armed and Gorgeous palette, which, you know, a lot of people have had issues with the green, you know, saying it was patchy. I didn't really experience it being patchy too much, only because of how I do apply my eyeshadow. You know, I do it in layers and layers and lots of building up, but I did notice that it took quite a while to build up, that's for sure. And then lastly is the Dark Magic one. This shade broke right here. I dropped her, but hey, what are you gonna do? You know, I think I've been very fortunate in keeping my palettes in decent shape, considering I have over 100 palettes, and this is the only shade that I have ever dropped and it has broken. I'm just randomly going from what I have over here on the side of me, which is the C Color Cosmetics Around the World palette, which is an exact dupe for the Born to Run palette. And I mean exact dupe, because I have a friend who has the Born to Run and I used her, and these are, if not better, exactly the same, if not better than the Born to Run palette. They are just incredible. C Color Cosmetics, you know, they do dupes and stuff for more affordable prices, but they're just affordable, you know, for people who can't necessarily afford to buy an Urban Decay palette or a Natasha Denona palette. And the quality is really good. I mean, really good, especially like these, which in the original Born to Run palette, people had issues with these. So let me go ahead and show you. These ones, look at how even those swatches are. Very even, very bright, very bold, and I've had no issues with her whatsoever. Really good palette, and I'm really glad I invested in this. Savannah from C Color Cosmetics, which is a dupe for the Natasha Denona Safari palette. It is an all matte palette, and I have used her quite a bit since I've gotten her for just my quick on the go days when I just do an all neutral, all matte eye look. It is a great palette. The Sahara by Alter Ego, which I'm sure you guys have probably seen quite a few more popular YouTubers post about her. But this is a dupe for the Natasha Denona Biba palette, and I have played with her, and I gotta say, so far so good, because I mean, I'm really impressed with this palette. Granted, I don't own the Biba palette, but I do own the Sunrise, so I can kind of compare in her formula to this, and this has ended up being a really good palette. Just your everyday neutrals, a staple product. I highly recommend it. $16 compared to $130 for the Natasha Denona Biba, which I almost bought, and I'm so glad that I didn't. And then this came out. So great palette. Next couple ones that I have are all dupe palettes as well, for more higher end brands, with the next one being the Goddess palette from Alter Ego. This is a dupe for Natasha Denona's Gold palette, which is really good. There are quite a few beauty influencers who have done videos and tutorials with her, and let me know if you guys are interested, and I would be more than happy to do a review and a wear test with her or a get ready with her so you guys can see the quality. Overall, it is a really good palette. I have enjoyed playing with her. It's got those same unique shades that Natasha Denona has, and it is a great palette. My next dupe is from C Color Cosmetics, and it is the Juicy palette, and I'm not sure which Kylie Jenner palette it is a dupe for, but it is a dupe for one of Kylie Cosmetics' palettes. It is a really nice palette. I mean, I got this palette for like $7, and even for $7, the quality is actually really nice. Next is my Aphrodite palette from Bad Habit, which I don't need this anymore because I own the actual Huda Beauty palette, but I kept her for the shade Adore, because, you know, Huda Beauty reformulated her brand and she took out a couple of her other shadows, and that Trust Fund was one of them, which this is the dupe for the Trust Fund shade in Huda Beauty's Rose Gold palette. But it is a really good palette. I mean, it's decent. The mattes, you know, they kind of blend away to nothing, but, you know, this is exact reason on why I need to do a declutter. Somebody else can get use out of this, you know, that doesn't necessarily have a collection like I do. And next is my Bad Habit Supernova, which is a dupe for the Lila palette from the Natasha Denona, and this actually it's been a really good palette. I haven't used her too much, you know, which is sad. Again, I have such an enormous collection, you guys, that a lot of the ones that I really enjoy just don't even get used like they should, and it makes me feel bad because I'm not enjoying the whole collection that I own, and I'm going to change that. So I'm putting her over here to ensure that she gets used. And another dupe is the Bad Habit Aurora palette, which is a dupe for the ABH Prism palette that came out a couple winters ago. It is a really good palette. I enjoyed her, and I had a lot of good use out of her last 2 years ago. It's about 2 years old already, but this was one of the first dupe palettes that I actually discovered, and being more affordable with eyeshadow palettes, I have actually got a lot of use out of it and have really enjoyed it. As you can see, there's some nice sized dents in some of those pans. The C Color Cosmetics Frost palette, and this is another dupe for one of Kylie Cosmetics palettes. I will link it or put it on the screen for you guys because I can't tell you right off the top of my head which one it is. And again, you know, I've only used this a couple times and it is really pretty. It's such a shame, you know, so I'm glad I am showing you guys my collection, so that way it gives me a chance to see the ones that I haven't used and I can pull them to the forefront. So next is my Exotic palette, which is from Prism Makeup. Never really heard of the brand, but this palette was $5.99. and it is an exact dupe for the Natasha Denona Tropics palette, and I have done some really nice looks with this. You know, it's got your typical neutrals up here with just some pops of color, the exact same, you know, layout as the Natasha Denona one, and I have really enjoyed using this, surprisingly. And for $5.99, come on, I mean, you can't beat it, you guys, really. Next is my Ardell Pro eyeshadow palette. I just picked her up one day when I was at Sally Beauty's. That's where you can find a lot of Ardell at. And, you know, surprisingly, this freaking palette actually blew my socks off. The pigmentation on these shadows is incredible, and I've really gotten a lot of good use out of this. I mean, I'm kind of covered in swatches right now, otherwise I would show you guys some swatches of it. Let me just see if I can't do it. Anyways, who cares? I will find a way somehow for you guys. So let me just do it right across my tattoo. Look at that. Look at how freaking beautiful and deep and rich those are. And it was like $7, I want to say. And it is just called Pro Eyeshadow Palette. You know, it's a metallic and matte eyeshadow palette from the brand Ardell. Really, really nice palette. Next is my BH Cosmetics Desert and Oasis palette. This has been a really nice palette. You know, it's got your pops of blue in there. It's got, you know, your nice highlight shadow shades and stuff right here. Deeper dark tone highlight. It's got real light skin highlight and, you know, middle. You know, you got a nice variety of some nice highlight shades there. And you got your bigger size pans for your mattes, you know, that we all hit pan on first, your transition colors and stuff. And, you know, this is a really nice palette. This was, I think, one of the first ones I purchased from BH Cosmetics. And it is just a great palette. Next from BH Cosmetics is my Aurora Lights palette. And absolutely beautiful. It has your baked formula of eyeshadows. And it is actually a really nice palette, and I haven't used it, sadly, too much. And, you know, it's just a shame. I want to say the bottom row here is eyeshadow toppers. One of these rows is, but it is sickening for sure. Again, you know, I don't want to keep repeating myself and sounding like a broken record, but, you know, I have so much that they all don't get used like they should. One is my Sugar Crystals palette from Violet Voss. Absolutely fun, bright, beautiful rainbow palette, you know, and I have enjoyed her in the summertime. It is really pretty and very bright, very vibrant, very even. Mattes apply very evenly on the lids. Shimmers are really nice. And then you have your bottom row, which is eyeshadow toppers, and it has been a really nice palette, you know, for the summertime. Lots of fun. 3 more to go for this episode, and then we will do a round 2. And the next one is my Flower Beauty Sugar Rush palette, which I actually posted a look with this, the other day on my Instagram, and you guys actually gave me a lot of compliments, asked what palette I used, and could not believe that I told you that I used this palette, because you know, it's a drugstore product, and actually it is really nice. I have definitely done some really nice looks with her, and I have enjoyed this. Next one is my Suns Blazing from Flower Beauty as well, and it has your nice bright oranges and yellows and really nice shimmers in there, and it is a really nice palette overall. And then lastly for today's episode is my Gimme Gold from Flower Beauty, and it is just your typical gold-esque neutral palette, really pretty. So yeah, as you guys can see, I mean, this is just the first one, you know, just how many eyeshadow palettes I own so far. I'm going to be doing a part 2 of this, and maybe a part 3, just depending on how quickly I can bust them out and show you guys all of the eyeshadow palettes that I own. And you know, I've given it some thought, and I thought about decluttering, if I should declutter. You know, I know declutter videos are very hot on YouTube and stuff, and you know, to be honest, like I mentioned a little bit ago, I don't know if I'm ready for that yet, and to do that, just because, you know, I have paid and bought for every single one of my eyeshadow palettes that I own, you know, and I own over 110. I want to say I'm at about 110 palettes right now, which to me, that's humongous. That's ridiculous. Nobody in their lifetime would ever be able to go through that many eyeshadow palettes. And you know, I'm the perfect example of what the beauty industry has done and does to people by constantly pushing down products out and constantly, you know, getting people to, you know, YouTubers and stuff to review products and getting people to buy. Oh, you gotta have this, you gotta have it. And you know, in my mind, you know, I'm one of the many who felt like, oh, you know, I gotta have that palette, I gotta have it, it's the hottest, newest thing. But for why though? You know, when I really sat down to think about it, why do I need it? Because it's hot, it's brand new. I mean, I know I have every single color in my collection that can ever possibly come out. Like, you can only make so many beautiful colors of teal, you can only make so many lime greens, or you can only make so many electric greens, you know. And I have a collection of eyeshadow palettes from every span, from your brights to your bolds to your neutrals to your colorfuls to your rainbows to your berries, your cools, your warms, your browns, you name it, I have it all. And we will get into, you know, some more on my part 2 of this little series. I guess I'm gonna call it, you know, let's break it down, my entire eyeshadow palette collection. What do you guys think of the title? And I'm gonna make this a whole series and break down my entire makeup inventory for you guys. But yeah, you know, like I was saying, as far as the decluttering, I don't know if I'm ready for that yet, or if I ever will be. I mean, maybe baby steps, I don't know. Because like I was saying, you know, I have bought and paid for every single one of my 110 eyeshadow palettes with my own money. You know, none of them were gifted to me or given to me or bought in for me or nothing. And, you know, I work very hard for my money. So to me, it would be like feeling like I'm just throwing my money away or giving. You know, giving is one thing. I don't mind, and I love to do the giveaways, you guys. And if you don't know, now you know, because I am hosting a giveaway right now. Currently, I will put it up in the cards for you guys. Be sure to go check it out. You don't want to miss out. I'm doing a dual giveaway right now, you guys. One over here on YouTube and one over on my Instagram. So go check it out. You got to follow me, and you guys must subscribe to my channel. And this goes for both giveaways, you guys. I just wanted to make a disclaimer. please make sure you guys are reading all of the rules correctly to enter the giveaways, and that goes for both of them, because I will be checking to make sure that you guys have followed the rules correctly. And you know, the first thing first is subscribing to my channel. You have to make sure you are publicly subscribed, because YouTube, I don't know why they do it, but upon making a YouTube channel or your Google account, YouTube will automatically set your subscription to private. So you have to manually go under your settings and turn your subscriptions on to public so that you can be seen by other people. Otherwise, I will not know that you have subscribed, and you know, you just got to follow the rules, you guys. And the first things first for both giveaways is you got to subscribe to my channel. So I have a lot of good stuff up my sleeves, you guys. I have so much more good content to come for you guys. You definitely want to subscribe if you haven't already and join the family. We have a lot of fun over here. We have a lot of laughs, and it's just full of love, and it's just a good vibe over here. Everybody is so supportive and encouraging, and you know, thank you so much to everybody, you know, who has subscribed. And yes, definitely go check out the giveaways, you guys. You don't want to miss out on it. I mean, I guess I keep getting sidetracked when I keep talking about that dang declutter, but you know, point is you know, I'm just not ready to do declutters yet. Doing giveaways is one thing, but as you can see from my giveaway, for those who have saw it, I bought brand new eyeshadow palettes for those. So I didn't even give away any like used makeup. I bought all brand new face products and everything for those giveaways too. So it's like, what are you doing, Rose? Defeating the whole purpose of trying to declutter stuff. But I just don't want to declutter. You know, I'm satisfied with my collection. I'm content with her. Even though I have over 100 eyeshadow palettes right now, I'm content with it because everything I've owned, I've bought with my own money, y'all. So maybe this will change later. I don't know. But for now, hey, it is what it is. So oh, secondly, what do you guys think of this sound? I just got a few days back, I got a microphone, and I was having it attached to my shirt, and I think it was a little too loud in my prior couple videos. Not the giveaway one, but the one prior to that, and the one prior to that. It was on my shirt, and I don't know. You guys have to tell me, how does it sound? Do I sound like I'm okay? Too far away? What? Because I have it sitting down by my tripod and stuff right now. So let me know in the comments. Somebody, anybody, please. Lastly is my look today. What I am wearing. Of my sugar crystals from Violet Voss and the Zulu palette from Juvia's Place. I did both of these together, mainly using Juvia's Place Zulu. You know, this is a tried and true rainbow palette, faux show. You know, very beautiful palette, very, very bright shades. And, you know, this just goes to show you also, it is September 17th or 16th or whatever day it is today, and you see me rocking out a bright, beautiful look. Just like I've been saying in my prior videos and stuff, it don't matter what time of year it is, you guys, I'm always wear my eyeshadows and my looks how I want to wear them. Like, I mean, as you can see, it is bright, vibrant, and hey, I can rock it and I can get away with it. And can't nobody stop me. There are no rules in makeup, you guys. If you want to wear a bright, colorful look like this in the dead of winter, wear it. You know what I mean? I wear makeup how I want to wear it, not according to somebody else's standards. And I'm gonna always do me. What you see is what you get with me. You guys know this. Those who know me, you know, and I'm not gonna change. You know, I've always remained true to myself. And, you know, it's all about self-worth and, you know, just loving yourself, you know. There's no shade names on here. But the orange I put in my crease along with the red in my crease, and then the purple in the crease to deepen it up. And then I use the yellow in the Violet Voss shade right here, this middle one, for the inner portion. And then I used the green and the blue on the outer portion of my lid. So that's everything, you guys. So stay tuned for my part 2 of Let's Break It Down, my entire eyeshadow palette collection. I will be doing a part 2 so you guys can see the rest of my eyeshadow palette collection, because that was only about half, if that, what you guys just saw. And then also stay tuned for a video and a post over on Instagram. Make sure you're following me on Instagram at Passionate Panner. I'm going to be introducing a new Pando's eyeshadow series on my channel. So for those who want to join in on my collab, my very own, I'm creating myself. Let me know in the comments, and I'm going to try to do, when I go to my office tonight, a spreadsheet. And thank you for tuning in, and go check out my giveaway and go watch the giveaway I linked in the cards a little bit ago for over here, and subscribe to enter both of them and go check them out. I'm doing the brand new Huda Beauty palette, the nude light one on Instagram, and the ABH Carly Bible palette over here. Both of them have a full face of makeup, so you don't want to miss out on that. And if you haven't subscribed to my channel already and you would be interested in joining the family and growing together as just a unit over here, then please do subscribe to my channel. It will really mean so much to me. Until the next video, you guys, everybody enjoy the rest of their day. Bye.